we want you to remember of our presentation today is accessible learning. We have been working past 5 years to create accessible online learning, and today we want to squeeze it into 12 minutes so that we could create accessible online learning together. In this presentation, we describe a case study that was conveyed by action and analysis, changing the action and analyzing it again and again. Problem that we wanted to solve was that all the immigrants in Finland don't have access to reasonably priced and effective language learning. Problem that we wanted to solve is that all the immigrants in Finland don't have access to reasonably priced and effective language learning. That is causing brain drain, and it's also causing problems in integration. We wanted to create equal possibilities to everyone, not only in Finland, but actually worldwide. And it required us to define what do we understand with accessible learning. And we ended up with 3 research questions. These research questions didn't exist in the beginning. They were coming through the analysis and smaller key concepts that we ended up categorizing and putting into bigger research questions. And the research questions were: what does technically accessible online learning mean? Pedagogically accessible online learning and lingually accessible online learning. Before we rush to tell what we discovered, let's look at the word accessible. We are living the era of the 4th Industrial Revolution. And I want to quote here the World Economic Forum because it summarizes so perfectly what kind of opportunity we saw. The 4th Industrial Revolution is about more than just technology-driven change. It is an opportunity to help everyone, including leaders, policymakers, and people from all income groups and nations, to harness converging technologies in order to create an inclusive, human-centered future. The real opportunity is to look beyond the technology and find ways to give the greatest number of people the ability to positively impact their families, organizations, and communities.
I'm telling now some point of views of technically accessible online learning. Our opinion, it is always interactive. Our customers, they are at work and maybe they can study on their way to work or on their way to home, or they have 15 minutes break at work. If they don't find link where from they join to class, they give up. If it is difficult, if they can't put microphone on, if they can't study, if it is not effective, if it is not fun at the same time, they give up. That's why we really must to do it interactive and easy. Our customers, they may have whatever tools. They may have mobiles with Android, with iOS, with Windows. They may have PC laptops, they may have Macs, they may have whatever, and then also they can use every browsers. And we must always, when we do any minimum changes in our programs, we must check every tools that we make it accessible. When customer comes to us, we check their language level and we check their technical level, and also we check their skills to study. Our all classes are based to skills. Maybe they learn one skill in one class, and also it gives possibility to evaluate this learning at the same time. My dream is that student comes and practice one skill and show that they can do it and they can use this language in this situation. I can just click and this skills mark goes to their smartphones. GDPR gives us challenges because, for example, universities there is very strict rules, and we must discuss with admin level people all the time and explain them what we need and why we need it. If teacher is not allowed to, for example, put microphone off or remove a disturbing person of class or something like that, it is not very effective learning. We must have possibility to help our customers. Chats should be very easy to find, and we must all the time use video, microphone, text, photos, and they must be easily in our use. Main thing when we talk about technically accessible learning, there is one place, one home place where everything is. There must be video, there must be a micro chatting place, notes makers, exercise page. This video should be easily on, and some recording tool, and maybe some place where they are in cloud and they will disappear after some time. But it is very good if students can repeat what they have learned. It really is possible to create accessible learning environment if we look at customer side and teacher side. If we don't always think it at technical side at first, always think it through customers and learning experience.
Pedagogically accessible. First, let's look at the word pedagogy. So, it is a method and practice of teaching. Huge knowledge about something doesn't make you a teacher. Huge knowledge about something doesn't make you a teacher. As a language teacher, I can't give you all my linguistic knowledge about the Finnish. My target is you to use the language. We need to teach our students to use the hammer instead of describing them the process of hammering. We need to be able to teach them that kind of language that they are able to use in everyday situations in the real life. Pedagogy always starts with the questions, what do you teach and to whom you teach it? When we target to accessible learning, we can't focus on certain type of customer or learner. Truly accessible means that we consider their geographical location, their ethnical or religious background, gender, social or economical background, and situation in life, and also their educational background. Geographical. Our students were all over Finland, in big cities, in small villages, in towns, in total countryside, in the middle of nowhere. Worldwide, we had customers located in Pakistan, Russia, India, USA, Denmark, Taiwan, and even I lived during past 5 years in 3 different countries. The biggest place on earth is online. The biggest school on earth is online. We have to consider students' social and economical background and their situation in life. What is the biggest obstacle of learning? What is the most typical answer that your students give you when you ask why you don't learn something? It's the time. I don't have time. We can't make priorities to people about their timing over their work or family or whatever. But what we can make is create a system that allows them to hop on and hop off their studies whenever convenient for them, and they can continue where they left off. Because we believe that language is not learned linearic like this, so you need to learn this thing before you enter here. It is a spiral. Other thing that we wanted our students to get, so that when they enter their 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute lesson, they know that time is well spent. They learn a new skill that they will need in the real life. In Finland, teachers have master's degrees, and this should be a huge advantage. It becomes disadvantage if we are not able to communicate in a way that our students understand despite of their educational background. If I'm not able to adjust my speaking style to a PhD or someone who has been only 2 years in school in a refugee camp. Lingually accessible means that first of all, the meta language should not be used unless it's totally necessary. We think it's in vain. We can teach without using the meta language. It just makes the language learning more demanding.
Sometimes help language is a hinder, not a catalyst.
With Kimara, we think that everything should be subordinate to the context and situation. You always learn the lexicon and grammar in a context and in a real life situation.
Kuuluuko? No moi. Tervetuloa.